Hello, I'm Zach Renfro. This is a video for my speech class, and this is my audience. Hi, audience. Today, we are going to talk about greed. Why greed is good and why you should use greed. First, an overview. What is greed? What do most humans mean when they talk about greed? The greed paradox. Where do we find greed? Who are some famous greedy people? When is greed acceptable? When is greed unacceptable? Is it really greed that's bad? And we'll finish with a summary. What is greed? Merriam-Webster's defines greed as an excessive want for something, such as money or anything else, cookies, Pop-Tarts, whatever. What do most people mean when they talk about greed? Most people, when they talk about greed, exclusively mean the excessive want of money. They talk about people like Ben Bernanke or Warren Buffett, these excessively wealthy, excessively smart money managers who have the world at their feet because they have so much money. But a person, like I said, can be greedy for anything. Einstein was greedy for knowledge. I'm greedy for coffee, you know. Ayn Rand had a very good thought process when it comes to greed. She has the Ayn Rand's entrepreneurial guide to greed, and she never outright says this, but this is the theme that's expressed in the novel Atlas Shrugged. Greed is the excessive want for something. Greed acts as a motivator to achieve success. Motivation and success are good. Motivation and success create greedy people. Greedy people find the needs of other people and sell solutions to those problems. Solutions to problems advance society. Advancing society is good. So therefore, greed is good. However, there's also the thought of why greed can be bad. This is the bad greed triangle. Ugh. The top point is, greed is excessive want of something. Excessively wanting something is bad. Excessively wanting something can be described as an addiction. Addiction is bad, so therefore greed is bad. Greed can make people forget things like family, country, and compassion. Forgetting those things is bad. And greed can cause people to act immorally. Acting immorally is bad. So far, there's a pretty valid argument against greed. I'll present you with a greed paradox. What if someone were greedy for helping people? Greedy for kindness. They wanted to have and perform all the kindness in the world. Kindness strengthens humanity. Strengthen humanity is good. So therefore greed is good. You know, someone might be able to make the argument that Mother Teresa was excessively greedy for helping people. Where do we find greed? We find greed in centers of capital, places where lots of money and lots of goods are exchanged, places like Wall Street, Las Vegas, Silicon Valley. You know, these places where a lot of people go around and they exchange money and try and make the world a better place. Who are some famous greedy people? There's people such as Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Martha Stewart, Oprah. Oprah's a great person, you know, a great example of greed. She's now the richest woman in the world. She's done a lot of good for humanity. She's opened schools in poor African countries. She's done all kinds of great things that just make the world a better place. Bill Gates, the Bill Gates Fund, he's donated over $32 billion with a B dollars to different causes around the world to make the world a better place. Martha Stewart has quite a few charities set up in her name. Warren Buffett, great guy, got a few charities set up in his name. When is greed acceptable? When is greed unacceptable? In business, greed would be acceptable. Your goal would be to make the company as much money as you can, make the company wealthy, help the company make things better. At a child's birthday party, however, greed would be bad. You don't want to go taking the little kid's cake or, you know, taking all the presents for yourself because that's bad. It's immoral and just makes you look mean. In personal finances, greed is good because you want to take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself is good. So, yeah. Is it really greed that is bad? Many scientists talk about hedonic set points. That's whenever a person gets happy, these hedonic set points go up. Whenever they get sad, these hedonic set points go down. And when you're not feeling any emotion, your hedonic set points stay at a set level. Greed can allow you to keep constantly making your hedonic set points go up and up and up, because you're constantly striving for something. You're constantly trying to get something to make your life better, which I think is good. It's good to constantly want. You know, people who don't want or need anything, I think, live very sad and shallow lives. Greed acts as a motivator. It helps you. It lets you go places. This is why you should use greed. You should look at your finances. You should be like, how can I get more money? How can I get more Pop-Tarts? How can I get more coffee into my life? So you set up your life to fulfill those things. In conclusion, we talked about what is greed. What do most humans mean when they talk about greed? The greed paradox. Where do we find greed? Famous greedy people, when greed's acceptable, unacceptable, and is it really greed that's bad? Any questions? No?